Hi, I'm Tracey Stranger, author of How to Overcome Stress Naturally. Today I have two experts with me, Valerie McDougall and Jane Jennings. Both are entrepreneurs and enthusiastic advocates for women achieving success through life-work balance. Many women build up stress in attempting to run a successful business and balance their life. Valerie and Jane, what are the key problems women come to you with?
Tracey, you're so right when you talk about stress. Women come to us overwhelmed, underpowered. The superwoman myth's still around, they think they have to be the perfect mother, the perfect businesswoman, perfect. And what about the time for themselves with all this getting involved? And they don't know how to sort of sort this out, and they have this terrible guilt underlying a lot of women saying, well, we want to do the best we can for our kids, but how do we do that? And also do the best for our businesses.
Absolutely. We do have a lot on our hands these days. It seems to be getting more and more so. Fantastic. And what would you say is the first step to balance work and life for women?
Well, I think, Tracey, you have to find out what your goals are, be clear about what you're trying to achieve, and then get a sense of where you're at currently now. What's your current situation, so then you can get an idea, well, where do you have to get from now to in the future? What are the steps you need to take? And in doing that, think about where you're at in your mind. What's your mindset around that? Is that helping you in achieving, will it help you in achieving your goals, or will it undermine you? So you have to do a bit of work on your mindset as well. That's what we find is really quite critical. You can't leave that out. You can't assume that, oh, I've got my goals, I'll just go for them. If your mindset's not there, you're not going to get there. And then it's one thing that women very regularly don't do is get help at the outset. Look at, again, what your goals are. What can you do yourself in reality and what your time is, and what could you outsource or delegate, or what could you just drop off that list entirely so that you're realistic about what you can achieve.
And I think you're right, Jane. Often we can't determine those things ourselves because there's so much going on, so it is important to get help to prioritise and clarify and find out what really the mindset is.
Yes, absolutely.
What would be some of the first steps to take then in getting that life-work balance?
Well, I think you have to start with the mindset. And from our research, what we've found is that the successful women entrepreneurs don't see it as a balance between life and work. Right. They sort of see it as a flow. And that's a mindset thing, Tracey. So it's getting back to that, how we flow in our day. And one of the tricks to that, I think, is to look very carefully at what you're about to do for that day, or perhaps the night before. You look at your day ahead and say, what's the one really important thing that I need to do? Where do I need to put my time and efforts? And then do that, and don't beat yourself up about the other things you don't get done. So it's the mindset of being able to say, this is what I can do, this is what I could do to push myself, but I'm not going to beat myself up because it's such a waste of energy and stressful.
Absolutely. And to maintain that balance, what's the key to be able to maintain that balance?
It's vigilance. You've got to do it every day, wouldn't you say, Jane? You've got to.
Yeah, and you have to be thinking about, well, what do I want to achieve today? How can I get myself there? How do I keep myself well as well? How do I need to look after myself so that I can continue to give the best that I can to the things that I want to do?
Yeah, I think it's partly also what you were saying before about getting help where you need it. Because women are often, women in business, we should be really focused on things like making money as well, but women traditionally aren't great at talking about money. They don't want to make it for its own sake, and you have to be much more comfortable about getting the help in the areas you need it, whether it's in the business or at another section of it, so you can really focus on what you need to get done.
Absolutely. So can you give me an example of what you do yourself to keep that balance, the vigilance? What is it that has you be able to keep that flow in your life as a successful businesswoman?
As I'll start, the thing at the moment, I think that you can see that there's different times in your life where your day might be different. And for me at the moment, I need a bit of focus on my health. And I'm very big on having a calendar, writing stuff in, and putting the health things in first. And I actually joined a gym because I think that sort of gives me a bit of pain if I don't turn up, pocket pain if I don't go to the gym. So that forces me into a program that's been devised for me to help me, and I look at some sort of fun thing as well in the week. Now, sometimes it's as simple as, instead of going to the supermarket and getting stressed, I'll go to our local farmers market, wander around, feel good about doing the shopping, take time out to listen to the music and have a coffee, meet up with a friend there. You know, or my husband and I might go kayaking, and that gives us a bit of time together and health at the same time. So it's doing what you have to do, but finding a way to do it so it's more fun, plus giving yourself a treat. What about you, Jane?
Sounds excellent.
Well, from my perspective, it's more what my life I term structured flexibility. It's like having and I sound like a real structured person here, but it's being clear about what I want to achieve in my day, set some priorities, and look and say, okay, well today I've got a lot on my plate in terms of business. And so my husband, who he works from home, which is very useful, he might take on the primary caregiving role of my daughter that day and get her to school and pick her up while I focus on that. Whereas another day in the week, I'll take on that role, and I might take my mum for lunch and spend some time with my daughter and pick her up from school. And so it's being able to have some structure, but having flexibility around that structure so I can get the things that I need to get done while ensuring I'm enjoying time with my daughter and time with my partner and make sure things are done in business.
So one day at a time.
Exactly.
Excellent. So for women in this day and age where there is a lot of change going on, and women may be thinking of starting their own home business, to start off on the right foot, to have that balance between family and work and their everyday life, what would you say for them just starting off? What would be your advice?
Well, I'll start by saying again, as I've been said before, you have to be clear about what you want to achieve, but be realistic about what you want to achieve. Think about, well, what's practical in your own circumstances, about, you know, do you have family? What are the commitments that you have to make to them? What else is going on in your life? So you've been realistic about what you can achieve. And in starting a business, it's a lot of time commitment involved in that. So where can you get help to make sure that you can achieve things that you may not have the skills to do, or you just don't have the time, or even the interest or inclination to get involved in certain areas? Find somebody to help you with that.
Excellent.
And being businesslike about it. If this is a business, you have to have a businesslike approach to it. And that's a really key thing that women forget. We think we can sort of do it and fit it in, but if you have a really good plan about it, and it will mean how much money you're going to set aside to build that business, how much time you're going to have, and how you're going to do it. So that part fits in with what Jane was saying, but it's really, you know, having a business-like approach to it. And once again, we get back to women not being great always at money or how you're going to set up your finances for the business, but if you want it to work, you have to be very business-like about it too.
And then also make sure you're looking after your health, because if your health falls apart, because you really need your energy and your health while you're building your business, so you've got to be mindful of what you're doing with yourself, with your body, to keep your energy levels there. And the whole stress management is a big part of that as well.
Fantastic. So in summing up, are there any key points or anything that you would like to add to help people with that life balance?
Well, we've done some great interviews with some successful women entrepreneurs from around the world, and we're working on a white paper we're pulling together with some proven strategies on how they are achieving work-life balance, and we're going to have that available soon. So you can go to register on our website at www.worklifebalancesuccess.com, and we'll take your details, and when we've released that paper, we'll send it out to you.
Thank you very much, both Valerie and Jane, today.
Thank you.